Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Rounds. Senator Kaine, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And General Cotton, great to see you. I enjoyed our visit yesterday. And I think this has been touched on by earlier senators in their questions, but I really was intrigued by the discussion we were having about this multipolar nature of the threat. So as you look at the triad, we have to always recapitalize and have it be strong. But we have thought of the triad both in terms of our investment, but even in terms of our theory of deterrence or our theory about what the triad means to our defense. We've sort of thought about it as a triad with respect to one nuclear competitor. Okay, now we have two nuclear competitors, and evidence demonstrates that they're increasingly working together. The U.S. policy for decades kind of said that China and Russia would never get too close because of a history of enmity in different cultures and things like that. But they're getting closer and closer every day, and often they're doing things not only just the two of them, but with Iran, North Korea, sometimes with Turkey. So how should you be confirmed, and I'm confident you will be, how will you approach this analysis of the threat that is not simply an analysis of the capacity of individual adversaries, but the fact that these adversaries are cooperating and that previous deterrence doctrines were really built more around a bipolar world rather than multiple competitors?
Senator Kaine, thank you for the question. You're absolutely right, and we touched upon it earlier. I think what's key, and it's as we discuss, it's multiple approaches too, because one, if confirmed, and I know the work is being currently done within STRATCOM, because as a JFAC commander to STRATCOM, I'm offering input to that today. But if confirmed, that assessment has to continue, because when we talk about, as you said, as we talk about nuclear doctrine is with one near peer adversary. We are, and what that will drive is then that will drive on how do we meet national objectives based on the strategic doctrine within the confines of strategic command. Then we have to then, from my best military advice, understand what force shaping looks like in regards to how do you meet the objectives that would be given to us from the commander-in-chief. That's work that has to be done. And I know it's being done today, but if confirmed, that is one of the first things that we'll dive into, where I can get a better understanding, to your point, of what does it look like when you have two near-peer adversaries that act differently, might work together, might not work together, but we still need to understand, how do you execute against that threat?
Thank you, Joe. Another thing we talked about yesterday was bomber task force missions. There was just a completion of one in Southcom with Panamanian and Ecuadorian partners. We've also done bomber task force missions with European allies. These are to show unity, to test interoperability. Talk about what those missions produce for our defense capacity.
Thank you for that. So bomber task force, our bomber task forces that we currently do on behalf of our on behalf of COCOMs, of which I'm the lead as the Air Force Global Strike Commander to present those forces to COCOMs through STRATCOM. It's been incredible, because what it shows why we're the most powerful military on the face of the earth. And that's because we have allies and partners. And what it shows is using conventional forces, what strategic deterrence is all. And there is nothing more gratifying than seeing an ally or a partner come up on a wing of a B-52 that's doing an integrated mission over a COCOM area, and seeing the PA sentiment, if you will, Senator, come back from the adversaries on how that mission went. So it's a win-win for ourselves as well as our allies and partners that participate in those missions that we're doing constantly across the globe.
Thank you very much. I yield back.